you all another story. Long, long ago, it seems once one king was given 2 falcons. And when he gave 2 falcons, he told the king that if you train these 2 falcons, they fly very high, very beautifully. Please train them. So the king called the bird trainer and he gave these 2 falcons to the bird trainer. After 15 days, the trainer came and told, sir, one falcon is flying. The other falcon doesn't move at all, sir. I don't know what to do with the falcon. Then he went and he saw the falcon is happily perched on the branch, doesn't move. Then he called many people, none could make the falcon move. So he was very worried. He called the whole kingdom, whoever can make the falcon fly is going to get a good reward. Then one farmer came, he said, I can make the falcon fly. And next day he called the king, he said, see, your falcon is flying. When he went there, the falcon was flying. Then this man asked, the king asked the farmer, what did you do? How could you make it fly? The farmer smiled and said, sir, it was very comfortably perched on a branch. I have cut that branch. Now it has to fly. There is no other go for it. Okay. Now the comfortable branch we are all seated on has been cut by this COVID. We have to fly. There is no other go for us. Yeah. There is no other way of going at all for us because we are thrown into tsunami. So if we are thrown into tsunami, if we sink, we become the history. If we float, we will write the history. So now choice is with us, whether we will become the history or we will become the history writers. Okay, so now we decided we will become the history writers. So the moment we decided we have to become history writers, then we have to fly high like the falcon. There is no choice left. Now we want to fly high like falcon, but we have our own challenges. There is no branch to sit upon. There is no branch to take a comfort zone. There is no branch to rest. And we have a lot of challenges before us. We just jumped into this ocean. We were just told that, okay, take to online teaching. So quickly everybody jumped. What are all there in online teaching? Okay, those who want to go to MS Teams, quickly go. Those who want Zoom, go. Those who want to use WebEx, go. And do you know how to use it? Once or twice, the way I failed, now we will fail. Okay, and then it's okay to fail. No problem. We will pass somehow way. Okay, because anytime technology can put you into trouble, technology can challenge you, technology can make you look like a fool, and technology can make you look like a fantastic, the genius. So it is all there. And if it is within our homes, it doesn't matter. But it is in the classroom. We have 30, 40, 50, 60 children there who are far intelligent than us as far as technology is concerned. Okay. And telling us, ma'am, not like that. You press the right button now. No. You go to those 3 dots, ma'am, please go to those 3 dots. Ma'am, you forgot to switch on your audio. Ma'am, don't switch off your video. All this, and as well as misusing of chat box happens. In between, the parent peeps in. The parent tells you how to talk, how to teach. What are all challenges we are thrown into? And in these challenges, when we were thrown into these challenges, we all became strong enough. Innately, we learnt that how to protect ourselves, how to deliver our jobs. We can clap for ourselves. We all have done a fantastic job for past 3-4 months. We have been going on very well, very strong. What experience will you give in a lab? What experience can you give them about a library? What experience can you give them about a carpentry? Where do you take them? Can you take them to a planetarium? Can you take them to any of these places? And suddenly the way my network is threatening, everybody's network will be threatening them, saying that your network is weak. Change to alternative or put your WhatsApp on your head and sit down. Now that is what my network is telling. No, put your Wi-Fi on your head and sit down. Now, this kind of a challenges are there. Now, how do I know whether the child has learnt or not? How much has the child learnt? In a physical classroom, then definitely I will have one unit test. So immediately that is what comes to me, because I conducted a unit test and tomorrow I created one MS Forms or one Google Forms and sent it. Tomorrow I will get the result. 50 children, 50 out of 50 got 50 upon 50, 100 centum result. Everybody got full marks. And he was looking at how come they got full marks? They're writing from home. Then you become very suspicious about it. Something went wrong. What do I need to do? Then so many questions will hit us at this point. Did I not teach them as a teacher the value of being genuine? Did I not teach the child to maintain the sanctity of an assessment? Did I not teach the child this assessment is not to assess the child, it is only for the learning outcome? Lot of questions will come. Conscience will keep pricking us. So as it is, we have enough of headaches. Yeah, we have the headache of COVID, we have the headache of being locked down, we have headache of managing homes, we have headache of managing our own children, managing the remaining family, and managing the online classrooms, and managing the differential classroom. Added to that, we will not take extra conscience pricking and all. So we will become super smart in conducting the assessment, where we will use the technology. My golden words to everyone is, it is okay to fail. Failing is only to learn. Falling is to getting up. So when we are doing anything new, we are not such a super smart, that immediately it happens. Definitely, as I said, that technology fails many places, that we will, at that moment, we will become absolutely blank, and suddenly one child asks a question and we will go blank. In such things, there is nothing wrong. We are human beings. Only thing is that we will not leave it at that point. We will pick it up from there, and next time we won't get into that situation. We will empower ourselves. Number one is that be ready for change. It is, I'll tell you for one story here. I'm dying to tell you stories. I don't know why. It seems there was a huge, snowstorm, and all animals were dying. So the porcupines came rolling. They hugged each other. And when they hugged each other, what happened? They started pricking each other. Okay, when they prick each other, they fallen apart. When they fall apart, they were dying of cold. If they are hugging each other, they were pricking each other. But the warmth was there. Then they understood, if they have to live, then they have to live with the pain. If they fall apart, they will die. That is the story, sir. Today, teachers, you, me, the whole world should bear each other's pain. There is no other go. We have to survive. So take the pain, survive. It is this point, once we accept that there is a pain. Sir, I don't need to tell you, you are a Swamiji, that the pain is something which is always there. It's here. So I have to live with the pain, but the pain is what going to make me fly high. So I have to fly high. Project-based learning presentation by my 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. They had the same problem. Their PPT didn't work and the children became baffled. So I told all the teachers and children, this is a classic thing you have to remember, that when you are going ahead with any kind of a presentation, either you know what you have prepared in your presentation the way I knew. So I don't need to worry. I know what after what came, and since I prepared it, number one. And maybe because of the age and experience and being a theater person and dancer and all that I'm able to do. So I don't take myself as an example. But the advice I give to people is that technology is a technology. It can let you down. But whatever you want to speak, write it on a piece of paper and keep next to you. So you can keep referring. If the technology goes, still you have a paper. That is what makes you go strong, because even for the classes, if the teacher doesn't have what she wants to speak in her hand, children will be asking, so you 9th and 10th will be dull. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, they will give you a blank look. Whereas 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, my God, ma'am, this goes on. See, for a teacher to manage this ma'am from 30, 40 children and keeping them to that, you mute, I will call you, don't worry. In between, parents getting worried that my child is not being given chance. So best thing is, in this mayhem, you have to keep your cool in mind. So write down and keep. What do you want to say? Keeping the mayhem in mind. See, I did not become this in over one day. I am fortunate that my father was not only a very big person, he also was from stage, and he has seen to that I am on stage from my childhood. So somehow I learned all those theatrics, and I'm also a dancer and a performer. So all this came like a package, and my husband supported in all those things. So maybe born to talk. God has sent me with a loud mouth. That's a different one. So non-stop talking happens from me. I'm like a radio jockey. But this is a different skill. When I was 10, if I look at myself 15 years ago, I always had a small piece of paper in my palm when I was addressing people for a referral point. So I tell the teachers, write down on a piece of paper. Now, even today in the world of technology and robotics and coding and AI, pen and paper will help you. Write down and keep. That's what will help you. This is my golden words to everybody. Please keep that, because when the technology doesn't give you, the paper will give you the support.